To start, could you tell me a little bit more about your background and what brought you to Cortland?
I'm Derek Lalonde. I grew up in Brazier Falls, New York, a very small town, literally 800 people. Played hockey, football, and baseball growing up, and ultimately ended up at Cortland. I wanted to be a teacher, a physical education teacher, and Cortland was an absolute no-brainer with the relationship with the coaching staff there. The geographics, it was 3.5 hours from home, close enough but far enough, and it was a really easy decision for me.
What does being inducted into the C Club Hall of Fame mean to you?
It means a lot because I absolutely loved Cortland. I loved my experience there. To this day, many of my best friends were my teammates, and those relationships I established back in Cortland. So this is a huge honor because of how much I loved Cortland and my time spent there.
Do you have a proudest achievement from your life?
Proudest achievement is probably being named a head coach in the National Hockey League because it's kind of a pinnacle of my career, and especially it being the Detroit Red Wings and original 16. But I think it was an accumulation of my career. The achievement of going back to my first Division I coaching job and Fair State winning their first championship ever, winning a championship, national championship at the junior level in Green Bay. Obviously, the two Stanley Cups are special and memorable, but it's kind of probably the pinnacle of just being named an NHL head coach. But as an athlete, my senior year being named the red letter winner of my team was probably it's not a huge achievement, especially now I'm actually coaching NHLers, potential Hall of Famers. But for me, it was because the teammates were the guys that voted on it. And I had a career at Cortland where I had to earn it. Played very little as a freshman, played a little bit as a sophomore, half the games as junior, and then played all the games as senior. So probably NHL head coach and my Red Letter Award in my senior year.
So, do you have a favorite memory from Cortland that you can think back to?
I still keep in touch with Al McCormick, who was my college coach at Cortland. He still is a mentor, texts me on occasion and at times. We had a good start this year in Detroit, and he texts me early on, be humble and make sure it's all about the guys. So it was cool, but just to think of it, 30 plus years later, we still have a relationship like that. And even the fact that Tom Cranfield nominated me, Tom was a teammate, he was a coach, obviously he's an administrator at Cortland now, but he's a friend. And again, it was those relationships back then that what was my most memorable part about being at Cortland.
Is there one person who's had the greatest impact on your life?
My wife, that's easy. She was a coach. I tell people all the time, a lot of my success had to do with marrying a coach. She was actually well ahead of me in my coaching career. She was Division III head coach. She was Division I assistant. And she was Division II head coach. And I just think, choosing a profession like this, knowing we'd have to move on occasion as I kept going up the coaching ladder. The emotions of what our job's about. I think I do a pretty good job of never wearing it when I come home, but just her being a coach and understanding what it's about was by far the greatest influence and most important person to me in my life.
What advice would you give student athletes in attendance today?
To student athletes, enjoy the moment. Enjoy the process because that's what it's truly about. Dream big. The one advice I got along the way is be great where you're at, whether that's in college now, your first job, your second job. Don't look ahead. And if you don't look ahead and you are great, you will get ahead. And now that I'm here talking to you as a National Hockey League head coach, I really live by that throughout my career.
What were some ways you found success in your life?
Living in the moment, growth mindset. I read. My off seasons are about growth. early in my career, I would seek out every opportunity to learn, whether it was hounding coaches at higher levels, or whether it was going to this convention or that convention, just having a growth mindset, and to this day I still do, and it's done me very well.